Yo, what up, Doe fam? I'm Langston Hughes and welcome back to the channel. Now, when anyone wants to trade, we have to look at the charts. There's many different programs for charting currencies. My favorite is TradingView, and today I'm going to show you and walk you through everything I use in TradingView to chart the charts. Let's get to it.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine?
All right, let's head over to tradingview.com. Once you arrive here, you see in the top right corner, there's Start Free Trial. Click that. So try free basic. And then we're going to put in our email address. Okay, we're signed in, and try any of our paid plans free. No need. Unless you want to try it, it's okay. I recommend it. Once you get used to it, sign up for the pro account or try the trial for 30 days. But mostly everything you're going to use anyway is free, so you don't even have to pay for this. So go to chart. We click chart at the top. Now when we arrive to a fresh new trading view, it's going to give us something that looks like this. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to show you everything that I use. So there's going to be things that we don't cover because I don't use them. But let's begin here on the left side. Let me just highlight this for you. There we go. Okay. Begin on the left side here. At the top left hamburger menu, the only thing I use here is the toggle for dark color theme or light color theme. So if you click that here, it'll bring you to a light color theme. And if you click it again, take you back to a dark color theme. I don't use save charts or auto save. That's just the structure of the chart. If you want to have multiple charts, such as maybe a Euro Canadian pair and a British Pound Japanese Yen pair, it'll show you multiple charts and you can save your layout. But for the free version, only one chart is available. For the version that I use, which is Pro, you can do up to 2 charts. So the only thing I use here is the color theme. So light mode or dark mode. And then also a really neat feature here is keyboard shortcuts. If you click this, it'll show you all the keyboard shortcuts instead of having to do things the long way. I use a lot of these shortcuts quite often, but you can learn them here. So play around with that when you have time. Underneath that, we have crosshair. You can choose the crosshair you see here on the chart, or you can choose a dot like so, or you can choose arrow, and it also has an eraser. The only thing I use here is usually the crosshair. Moving along, we have a menu with different drawings such as trend, which I use, arrow I also use. I like to use the horizontal line, the horizontal ray, and that's about it. So the trend line is simple. We click trend line, we click and drag. And now we drew our trend line. Right? Pretty simple. Next we have the arrow. If you want to point out something, just click the arrow, hold it, drag, click again. One more time. There you go. You have the arrow. So it's very simple. You can play around with that to learn more. I use the arrow quite often. Horizontal line, I always use the horizontal line. So you just find where you want to place it, and it automatically extends to the left, and it extends to the right. So that's a horizontal line. Of course, if you want to change colors, just click the line, come up to the gear setting right here on the floating module that you can move around. Click it. You have style options. You can change it to yellow. You can change it to make it thicker if you want, or dash or dotted line. Click this, you'll make it thicker. You can change the opacity so it's not so solid. If you want it to be more translucent, you have the option to do that as well. You can also add text. Show text. Test horizontal line. This text is showing up at the bottom, but if we come here, we can put it on the top. We can change the boldness. We can change the color we want. We can also italicize it. We can put it to the left. We can put it to the center. Or we can put it to the right. So you have all these options whenever you click on something that you've drawn or an indicator. You have a floating bar that comes up, and you can choose settings. And you can also delete it by clicking the trash can here. So that's the horizontal line. Sometimes I use the horizontal ray, which is half of the horizontal line, and you just place it somewhere. So that's an example of the horizontal ray. What else do I use from here? That's about it. So from these options, I only use trend line, arrow, horizontal line, and horizontal ray. So let's move forward. Moving beneath that, we have something called Fibonacci. Fibonacci retracement tool. A lot of traders like to use this because it's going to show them different levels on where price may discontinue its retracement. So you draw in an uptrend from the bottom upwards to the high of that trend, and then people are looking at the numbers to the left side to determine that's where the retracement will end. I don't use the Fibonacci tool. So moving forward, we have these options here with the brush tool. Simple brush. You can brush. I just don't like the way how it works. It's sort of like magnetized to the chart, so I never use it. If you see the top arrows here and you press back, that's undo. We're going to cover this in a bit, but it's undo. Click it again, I can undo all of this. Underneath that, we have highlighter. I never use highlighter. We have rectangles. I always use rectangles to draw my support and my resistance. So literally you just grab the rectangle and create your rectangle. And again, like all of our other drawings, we have the options to change the settings and the colors, etc. You can add text as well, increase the background, change the color. All these options are available for us. And we can extend it right, which I like to do. So by clicking extend right, it'll extend all the way on the chart. And you can also extend left, but I don't do that. I just like to extend right, keep it simple. And like I said, we can click the trash can. That's going to delete anything that we've drawn once it's selected. We have the ellipse tool. Sometimes I use the ellipse. Just click once, click the other portion, holding, and then expand. Drag to expand. So if you want to highlight some areas, it's quite simple. Click once, click and drag to expand, click again. There you have it. Quite simple. What else do I use from here? Path. I only use rectangle, ellipse, and path. Path, this is going to allow you to demonstrate a path. I want to explain that price has made a high here and it went down to reverse, going back up to the top, make another pullback all the way down to the bottom, up to the top with a reversal to the bottom, and then all the way back up to the top. And I drew a path. And you can also drag it to indicate what you've drawn. So you can see outside of the price that you've drawn it on. And of course, you can change the colors, etc. So you can go in here and play around with all this stuff. I draw paths sometimes, not so much. Then we have the text box. And there's a bunch of different options for text. Normally I only use text, or I will probably use price label or call out. And I like to use arrow marker. But let's start with text, simple text. You click somewhere you want to type. Hello, we are testing out the text option. So simple. You can, of course, adjust the style, colors, boldness, italicize, size, background. If you want a background in your text, you can also increase the solidity of the background so it's not so translucent, the opacity. You can make a border. You can change the color of the border. We can make it white. You have all these options. You can also do text wrap. So if you see right here, the text expanded all the way to the right. If we keep typing, it won't enter to the next line unless we choose text wrap. So let's click text wrap and look at it now. Booyah! You see that? Okay, so that's text. And they pretty much all work the same. The other options here as well, such as anchor note, signpost, tweet, call out. Just play around with it when you have time. Arrow marker, I use this sometimes when I'm explaining during a live stream or screen recording. Your first click is going to be the anchor, and then you just choose where you want it to end up. But sometimes I use it just to show live. I don't necessarily just post it here. I like to use the arrow because it's thinner, but this one is just a quick, easy option. So I like to use this arrow under the text. Boom. You can also change the color, of course, etc. We already know how to do that. Underneath that, these are different patterns. I never use these, so let's move forward. Below that, we have the long position module as well as the short position module. So let's switch over to a currency pair so I can explain this a little bit more. So for example, the long position module. Let's say price is here and we want to take a buy. We want our entry to be right here. So we click once. This is our entry point right here. Let's say we want our stop loss to be just about here at 25 pips. If you see this right here, this is indication of pips. And when our take profit to be just about right here, that's showing us 209 pips. So it's also giving us our risk reward ratio. If you look right here, it's showing our risk to reward ratio, a 1 to 8. We're risking 1 to get 8, or whatever our lot size is. So this is neat. I use this all the time. It's very neat. And you can, of course, do the same for this is our risk reward ratio. This is our stop loss in pips. And this is our take profit in pips. And so you can also do the same with a sell or if you're going short. So this is a long or a buy option. And here is a short. Let's say we want our entry to be right here. We want our stop loss to be at these highs right here. You see these highs, 93 pips. And we want our take profit to be down here. So we got 66 pips. I've adjusted the entry point to here. 66 pips, take profit. Stop loss, sorry. Then we have a ratio of 1 to 3. Right there. That's our risk reward. And then we also have our take profit, 246 pips. So risking 1 to 3, depending on what our lot size is. So I use that quite often. Get in there, play around with it, learn how you can do it. And of course, like everything, like we mentioned earlier, when you selected a tool or something of that nature, all you have to do is come over to the floating module of what you selected, and then you can change the settings in here. So line, style, text, color, visibility. Even you can sort of tailor the inputs if you want it to be precisely at a particular entry price, etc. So get in there, play around with it, learn it. It's going to be very helpful. It's very helpful. I use it all the time. Okay, moving forward. We have stickers. I don't use these. You can just put a sticker in your chart. Oh, Bitcoin. Crypto to the moon. And I don't know. There could be different reasons people want to use these stickers. I just never use them. Okay, next we have the measuring tool. Just underneath stickers, we have the measuring tool. So literally just click and drag. You can release the click and drag. Let's say you want to put it here. So it's showing us that price has moved from this point to this point in pips. And you can do it from the bottom as well. It'll be blue from the bottom, going all the way up. Price moved from here, this bottom, to this high, 287 pips. That's the pips. This is where we entered. This is where we begin the measuring tool, and this is where we ended it. So from here to here, that's 287 pips. It also calculates the bars. So it's saying 15 bars. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These last two are halves, so that equals 15. This is good if you're considering the time frame you're on to count the bars. So this is a daily time frame. If you look up here, that's the daily time frame. We're going to cover that in a second. So each candle, bar, candlestick is a day. So we can also say this is 15 days for this specific time frame. Okay, moving forward, what else we got here? Underneath that, we have the zoom tool. Sometimes I use the zoom tool. You just click and drag, and it'll zoom in to wherever you want it. It's quite simple. And if your chart, I'll just show you quickly. If your chart is like this sometimes, if you look here to the bottom right, because it just looks incomprehensible, there's an auto button here to the bottom right. You see that? There's an auto button here. If you click that auto button, it'll adjust your chart back to how it was. Perfect, right? And we'll cover that again a little bit later, possibly. So let's continue. That's the zoom tool. You zoom in. Boom. If you want to zoom out, just underneath it is zoom out. There you go. So simple. There's also another option where you can reset chart. I'm not sure where it's at right now, but we'll find it later. But that's an issue. Just zoom out. Underneath that is The magnetize tool allows you to anchor your drawings to the open and close of price, but I never use it. So next we have the stay in drawing mode, which is a drawing lock tool. When you click it and then choose what you want to use to draw, let's say we want to put some horizontal lines, boom, boom. I can keep putting the lines because I'm locked in the draw tool. I don't have to keep going back to the item and the navigation. Look at that. And then once I release it, I have one more time to draw, but now I'm back on crosshair, right? It's pretty neat. And then down here at the bottom, you can remove all your drawings. This trash can, just click it once, boom, everything's removed. So continuing down, lock all the drawings so you can't move them or anything. I never use that. Then we have hide all drawings. I never use that. I usually just remove the drawings if I don't need to use it. Now, if you notice this eye, this is pretty neat to note because a lot of these things have the eye next to it. It just allows you to hide what you're looking at. So, for example, if you look at the bottom here of the chart, I never use this volume, right? We have all this volume information at the bottom of the chart, right? This is the volume indicator. I never use that, but since we're on a new trading view, then it's going to show up for us. So what you do is the volume and any indicators or oscillators, their options are going to be up here in this area. This is a little data area. If you see, like we were mentioning earlier, if there's an eyeball next to it, you can hide it. So look what happened when we click that. Boom, the volume is gone down here. No more volume. You can bring it back by clicking the eyeball again. Or if you want, you can just close it out. I don't use the volume, so I'll close it out. The same goes for the data that's being shown up here for our current instrument, which is Euro USD. Our current currency pair is Euro USD. So if you hover over it, you're going to see the options that you have for it. So what options do we have for this? We have an eyeball. We also have more options. Let's click more. Add alert, indicator, trade, symbol. You can even hide it. So you can play around with this. You can hide it. Boom. Clean chart. Why would I even want a clean chart? Sometimes you might want to do some drawings here. So for instance, if I want to explain like something with candles, boom. I want to show you that, price is coming down. The next candle is gonna open up right here. It's going to create a top wick before continuing in the downtrend. Who knows? There's a number of reasons you might want to use that. I'm not sure. For me, I like to draw sometimes on the chart. So I can just hide all of the price and have a clean chart, which becomes sort of like a whiteboard. For moving forward to the top of our navigation option. Boom. Okay. So this is our instrument symbol search. Where you see this Euro USD, it's a symbol search. So you can type into here and you can move to any symbol. So let's put British pound, Japanese yen. Boom. Now we have a chart for British pound and Japanese yen. And a quicker way to get to that is just start typing on the keyboard. So I'm typing Euro USD. It automatically pops up when you start typing on the keyboard. Boom. Euro USD, right? Next to that, we have our candle time frames right here. And right now it's only showing the daily. So what you do is you click it and then you favorite your time frame. So I like the 5 minute, I like the 30 minute, I like the 15 minute, I like the 1 hour, and I like the daily we already have. I also like the weekly and the monthly. So these are all the time frames I would have on my chart. Now look at it. Now we have the 15, now we have the 30, now we have the 1 hour, now we have the daily, now we have the weekly, and we have the monthly. So that's all that is. And of course, if you click it, you can go through the time frame. So we're in a daily right now. Here's the 5 minute, here's the 15 minute, here's the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. So it's very simple. It's very simple. Just favorite the ones you want, and there you have it. Next to that, we have our types of charts. So we have the options for candles. We have the options for bars. I'm only using candles. We also have hollow candles. Again, I'm only using candles. Compare, I never use. Indicators. Now, I'm going to emphasize that you don't need indicators. You don't need oscillators, RSI, etc. But I'm only saying that because I want to stretch the importance of learning price action. There are some indicators I use, and we'll get into those later, especially if you are in the mentorship program with me or you're taking the courses with me. These are things we're covering and we've explained for some people. And for those just joining, these are things we're going to explain. So I'm just emphasizing that. If you haven't learned and understood price action, you definitely don't need to be using indicators. But this is the navigation for indicators. We click it. We have a ton of indicators. There's millions, right? Hundreds of thousands of indicators available. Moving average, right? You just click moving average. Now it's on the chart here. We got a 9 moving average. You come to the settings. We can change the colors. Come here, change the color. We can change the size by coming down to the bottom here. Just play around with it. You can also change the input. Right now it's a 9. The length of this moving average is 9. We can change it to a 50. So that means for every 50 candles, it's giving us the average. We can change it to let's say 100. Just come over here, type it in, boom. Now we got 100 moving average. So every 100 candles is giving us average. And just play around with that. You can mess around and learn that. Then also we can also, like let's say for that moving average, we can favorite it to the left here. Boom. Now it's in our favorites. So then when we come to the drop down here, there'll be moving average instead of having to type and search for it all the time. And then again, like I said, all these things I'm showing you, if you come back to the hamburger menu at the top left, you come down to keyboard shortcuts, it'll show you what you have to do for hotkeys to quickly access these options. So open indicators, /. So if we click the / button, indicators, boom. So mess around with all these things that I'm showing you now. Moving forward, financials, I don't use that. Templates, I don't use that. Alerts, I use it, but I don't use it from here. So the way I use it is, for example, if you see my crosshair and you come over to the right, there's a plus button. So price is right here. Come over to the right, I click the plus button, add alert. Now I have my alert set. And then I can double click it and I can edit anything I need to edit, or I can leave it how it is. I find this much easier than coming over here. So if I double click it and I delete, yes, boom. So simple. So I don't like to use it from here. Replay mode. Replay mode is good for back testing. It's also available for free accounts. What you do is click the replay button and then make sure that this, on the module, make sure that this candle thing is highlighted here, because that's going to jump, that's going to be your jump to. So click this and then choose a candle you want to jump to. So now we're going to the past. Boom. We jump to this candle. Oh, we're on the monthly. I'm looking at the chart like, why is it only showing so many candles? So we're on the monthly. So it's going back all the way to May of 2002. And let me show you something here since we're on it. Just look at the bottom here. Wherever your cursor is located, it's going to indicate the date. And if you're on like a 15-minute, it's going to indicate the time. So this is showing June 2002. So let's go back to a daily chart, and then we'll come back to the replay button. We exit replay mode. Let's get out of the monthly chart because it's only going to be so many candles available for us. Let's come back up to the top and let's go to a 30-minute chart. Boom, 30-minute chart. If it looks like this, remember what I said. If it just looks weird and strange, that's because you have to come down to the auto button and auto adjust your chart. So let's come to the auto button, click auto. Now it's back to normal. There we go. Easy. Okay. Now for replay mode, pay attention because there might be times we're doing a one-on-one session and I want you to go into replay mode. And so you need to know how to use this. So click replay mode. Now it's available. We're highlighted the jump to. Click the candle you want to jump to. Oh, Test your strategies with intraday bar replay. So intraday is not available for free, but on the daily, replay mode is available. So, all right, anyway, click this button here to jump to. Click candle. Boom. We jump to that candle. So now all of the price that's already been printed on the chart is no longer visible for us. Now we can test our strategies to sort of guess and see where price is going to go in the future. And if you click this play button, it's going to play out the whole thing. And it chooses the speed. But if you click the button next to play, which is forward, it'll just do it one by one candle. Look at this. One candle. One candle. One candle. Now we adjust the speed and we click play. Watch how it plays out. Boom. So it's important to understand that. If you click this play button, it's going to play out every single candle. But if you click the 4 button, it's going to be 1 by 1 candle. And then this one is to real time. And then if we click X, it'll also take you to real time to close it out. Click yes. And now it's going to take us to real time. Here we are in today's charts. So that's replay mode. Now, next to that, at the top is undo and redo. So like, let's say we have this on the chart. Let's say we have some more of this on the chart. Let's say we have a Fibonacci on the chart. Let's say we have a arrow on the chart. All you got to do is click redo. It's going to remove everything you did. Redo also works if you change charts or instruments. So I'm going to go over here to the right. I'm clicking silver or gold. And I undo. Takes me back to the last movement as well. So even though I switch between charts, undo will take me back. Okay, next to that is chart layout. You only have one available for you if you are on a free basic account. I don't use it at all. So I don't use this save layout either. Again, that's just to save your chart layouts. I never use this. And then next, we have the gear icon. So preferences. Cool. All right, we can change the color of our symbols here. Right now we have bearish candles as red, but maybe we wanted bearish candles as, I don't know, let's say white. You can make it white. You can change the border. Maybe you want a white border for your bearish candles as well. You want your wicks to also be white. Boom. I don't know why. I mean, I guess some people prefer that. That's fine. Let's say you want your body of your bullish candles to be blue. And then you want the borders to also be blue. Or that could be purple. I'm colorblind, so I'll be honest with you. I think that's purple, actually. And then you want the wicks to also be purple. Boom. There you have it. Simple. Yeah, it looks like grapes. That's purple. Hey, that's kind of dope. Grape and white. Okay. So come around here, play with this. This allows you to adjust mostly everything here. Also your time zone as well. Status line. This is just what information is going to be available on the line. Scales, everything on the right side here. So if you want to have the symbol name, like what we have here, you have a label also here on the scale. But this currency name is at the bottom here. You can turn that off if you want, because you also have it here. You don't need it there. Come in here and play around, learn what you can. Also background, you can change it from gradient, right? That's a gradient. So now it's gradient, or you can change it to solid. If you want a solid background, that's solid. You can also add custom colors here. If you know the hex for the color, you add that here, or you can play around and find the colors you like, and then add. So now it's available here at the bottom. And then you can remove your vertical lines. You can increase opacity for your vertical, also your horizontal, or you can just remove them. I don't like to use them, so I remove them. Session breaks, scales. Come around, play around. This is your crosshair, so if you want to change the color of your crosshair, now it's yellow. If you want to change the opacity, it's like, oh, it's too bright. Boom, now it's like that. So you can add a watermark, right? You can even add a different color for the watermark, however you like. Navigation button. So if you notice here on the chart, when I hover over this right here, there's going to be some navigation buttons that pop up. So that's the zoom in, zoom out, just like the left side zoom. Also slide to the left, slide to the right if you want to nudge. And this one right here is to reset chart. So let's say you already you all the way zoomed in, you're somewhere on the chart, you don't even know where you are. You just click the reset button, resets the chart as well. What this preference is saying for navigation buttons is it's going to be visible when you move the mouse to it, or if you want it always visible or always invisible. You have these options as well. So again, like I said, you're going to have to come in here and play around with it. Events. This is the events we see here at the bottom right corner here. We have the option to remove this from the chart as well. Just come in here and show economic events. Click that. It removed it. You see? That's pretty much it. That's the preferences pane. To access this, you can also just right click and then settings. And if you right click, there's that reset chart thing I was looking for. But you can also find it by hovering at the bottom here. if the chart needs to be reset. Boom. Simple. Okay. Now next to that, we just have full screen mode. You can toggle this full screen. There we have it. Escape. And now we exit full screen. Now next to that, you see this button right here. That's a camera. This is not for taking selfies. It's not going to do a photo for you. Actually, what this is very important, so pay attention. This is going to allow you to take a snapshot of your chart, literally screenshot it. But when you click it, look at the options you have. So you click it, you have save chart image, so that'll download it for you. You have copy chart image, so it's going to literally copy to your clipboard and paste like if you copy text. You have copy link to the chart image, which is what I recommend most. If you click this, it's going to copy a link. And then if we open a new browser and then we paste that link, that's the chart we have, right? So why is this important? Like, so for instance, let's say, like I tell my students, I want them to mark up their chart. Also, let me show you one thing real quick too. So if you come here and you have some items that you like, such as you like to use the trend line, you like to use arrow, you like to use the horizontal tool, you like to use the rectangle, now you can favorite them. If you just come to the star, you can favorite them. It's going to keep this little sort of floating module available for you. And you can always access that by coming here to the bottom left. If you see right here on the bottom left, this is for the favorite tools. So you can always toggle that, and it's going to bring up your favorites right away. If I click it, here's my module favorites. If I remove it, there's nothing there, right? So let's show that. And now I want to use this tool to give you guys an example of screenshotting our charts. Boom. Okay, we created a resistance. We also put a support here, just for example. Boom. Okay, and like let's say we're just going to put a trend line, for example. Put a trend line as well. Boom. That's all showing now. Now if I go to screenshot, I can do open image in a new tab, or I can copy link to the chart image. Let me do copy link to the chart image, show you an example. So now that link is copied to my clipboard, then we get a separate image. Click this, copy link to the chart. There you have it. So let's remove everything we have on the chart right now. Boom. All right, that's everything. We've covered everything for the top section. I'm going to show you one thing real quick as well, because this is how I actually like to do my chart. So you see how we're in dark mode, right? Let's go to the hamburger menu. We're in dark color theme. Now we're in light color theme, but this is all light. You see all this on the right hand side? This is all light. On the left hand side, this is all light. On the top, this is all light. But let's say you still wanted that to remain dark, but you just wanted the chart to be light. What you do is come to the hamburger menu, come over to dark color theme, and then right click the chart. Come to preferences, settings, and then go to appearance. And then we change the background of the chart to light color theme on solid. Boom. Easy, right? So this is actually how I like to have my chart instead of the entirety of the workspace to be light. So now we're going to cover the right hand side. So the right hand side, when we toggle this watch list, we have this, right? We have these details. So when we click this, we have the watch list, we have different symbols, we have stocks, futures, forex, crypto. Now I'm going to just press the X button to the right of a symbol to remove it, because I don't use these stocks and indices. I don't use these stocks. Futures, yeah, oil, gold, silver I like, but I don't want to call it futures, so we right click, click add section, and now you can change it to, I like to use metals for my golds and my silvers. And I don't do oil, so I'll remove the oil, clicking the X button. Then we have forex, and you can just double click that to change the name. Then we have crypto, and then you just come up to the top here for the plus to add a symbol. So the difference is when we type in a symbol here at the top left in the symbol search, it doesn't add it to the watch list. So we have to manually add the symbol to the watch list by clicking the plus sign here at the top. So let's add, click the button, let's add GBP USD. You choose the broker, any broker you want to choose. So now it added here at the bottom, and then take it and drag it up to Forex. Okay, now it's there. We also have the option to highlight the symbols with a flag, so that's red. If you click it, you can change the color. to any color you want. Oh, I guess you cannot use multi-colored flag symbols on a free account, but the red is default and it's available. And then you can also sort by like red lists at the top here, or just come back to watch lists, right? So that's watch list. Come in here, play around with it, add symbols. Quite simple. It's very easy to understand. And then this beneath watch list is just the data about the current symbol that we're looking at, right? This is Euro USD, so this is Euro USD. Current price is $1.15. 1 euro will get you $1.15. That's the current rate. Coming below, we have something called technicals. If you click technicals, it's going to give you, according to the candlestick time frame, a summary. So if it's a sell, according to these different indicators. I don't use this. So we got here sell, neutral, buy. Again, I don't use that. So following that, we have alerts. Here you can actually add an alert, or you can manage your alert. You can close them out. You can edit them. I use it sometimes, not so much. Beneath that, we have some news information. I don't use this because I use Forex Factory for my news and my headlines, but this is just some info about news. Below that, we also have the data window. So that's everything that's in the top area here, right, that we covered earlier, right? The data window. This is your data, right? So it's showing the open, the high, the low, the close, etc. That's your data window. Beneath that, we also have just some more information about the exchanges, their change, the change percentage, etc. I don't use this. Then we have economic calendar. Again, I use Forex Factory for my economic calendar, so I don't use this. We have idea stream. So if, like, let's say, I forgot to cover this, but at the top right here, we have something called publish. This is if you want to publish your trading idea, because TradingView is a social trading platform. It's like the Facebook of trading, right? So there's many different traders on TradingView that you can follow. Some are like top-rated traders, etc. And when you publish your own ideas, you can also edit and adjust this. I don't use this. Beneath that, we have the option for, I believe, chatting. Yeah, public chats. So these are different discussions, almost like in a forum format. People also sharing their ideas, etc. I don't use it. Below that, we also have idea stream. So if you're following someone and you're subscribed to some of these people who are publishing their ideas and concepts, the stream will come here as well. And then this is live stream for different traders below that who are trading live, etc. Then we have our notifications. Most of these I don't use. Then this right here underneath notifications is the ability to connect to a broker that's suitable and compatible with TradingView. The broker I use, which is Hugo's Way, is not compatible with TradingView. There's a few brokers that are compatible with TradingView, whether it's crypto or Forex. You can connect that broker here, and you can also execute your trades within TradingView. However, I personally like to go over to MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 to execute my trades. Below that, we have depth of market, DOM. This is just the market auction mechanism. In the market, there's people who are putting sell limits. There are people who are putting buy limits, and it's going to show up here. Some people like to trade like that by viewing the depth of market. I don't like to trade like that, so I don't use this. Below that, we have object tree. It's just showing everything you have on your chart. So let's say we have a trend line for all your drawings. We have a trend line, we have a rectangle, we have a arrow, right? So if you click object tree, it's going to show you everything that you have on your chart. I never use this. I just usually clear out all my drawings, etc. Every time I come onto the chart, I make a new analysis, so I don't use that. At the bottom, we have the current time. You can see that here. This is the current time. We have the ability for auto button. We also have our dates. Depending on where our crosshair is located, it's going to show us the current date. We also have the jump to option, so you can jump to particular dates in the past. Just clicking one of these, it's going to show like, it's going to go back to like the last 5 days, or you can just click the calendar. You can type in a specific date. I don't use this at all. And then below that, just some stuff that I don't use. So stock screener, it's going to show you different stocks. You can take some notes and save your notes here. I don't use that. Pine editor, if you want to code your own indicators or do something special, just put your script here. Strategy tester, to test the strategy, apply it to the chart. Use the symbol and time interval that you want to test. You can use the built-in strategy from the indicators and strategy dialog box, or write your own in Pine editor. Again, I don't use this in trading panel. So if you're connected with your own broker, you can log into here and trade, or you can also paper trade using TradingView, which is almost like a demo account, but I don't use this. So again, like I said, we're covering everything that I use, and that wraps it up. So I hope this was beneficial. Do share in the comments if you have your own tips and tricks that you'd like to share with everyone. Let me know if this was helpful, of course. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and until next time, peace. And don't forget to come in here and practice it. You got to play around with it so you get used to it and you'll develop the muscle memory.
And that's it. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Comment below if you have any questions or if you have any recommendations for tips and tricks that I could probably use myself. I'd love to know below. Until next time, peace.